Welcome to Just Curious Media. This is Let's Talk Cobrakai. I'm Jason Connell. And yes, I am without Salvador Rodriguez. That is because this is a very timely episode, important episode, and I didn't want to try to wait and schedule it with our East Coast, West Coast timelines being what they are. But today, it's a bit of a heartfelt episode. It truly is, and it deals with someone who's actually been on the show before. It is Sensei Jim True of True Martial Arts Academy. We had him on last year. Episode came out May 25th, 2022. I highly, highly recommend checking that episode out for the first time or revisiting that episode, listening to it again. Episode 105 to be truly precise. In fact, Sal and I did a preview episode, 104, setting the stage for Sensei Jim True. And the reason he was on the show is because I met him as I was researching dojos when I lived in the Boston area for a year. And then I found out that he was responsible for getting students from his dojo in the next Karate Kid movie with Hilary Swank, patmorita, etc., etc. So we delve into that in the episode. It's fantastic. But beyond that, we really got a better sense of Sensei Jim True and his just legacy in martial arts. I mean, the next episode we had on after him was, I believe, Chris Jensen, who was one of his students, who's now one of the people helping run the dojo. So, back to back, check those out. They're fantastic, really great guys. And then I'm on an email list from the dojo, although I've moved to Rhode Island, and I, keep up with things here and there. And this one, I read it last week and I thought, oh my gosh, I have to come on and do something about this because it's just really important. So here's the deal. There's a GoFundMe for Jim True, Sensei Jim True. And the reason being he's battling cancer and not in the dojo currently. And it's being run by Chris and others. And I'm just going to read this, which is on the GoFundMe. And by the way, if you guys want to read this as well, it's just GoFundMe Sensei Jim, SENSEI Jim, JIM. And I just figured just share this amongst martial arts lovers, good people in the world. GoFundMe really helps out so many people in need. And I was just really touched and moved. Just the little time I've spent with Sensei Jim True, I feel like he's a dear friend. And so I just thought I have to do something more than just a tag at the beginning of an episode. I wanted to dedicate an episode to him. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read this the best I can. All right. No one is ever ready to hear the words, "You have a cancerous mass in your upper intestines." Yet those were the words Sensei Jim and his wife Rosie heard on January 19th, 2023. After a successful surgery and follow-up at MGH, which I believe would be Massachusetts General Hospital, he will be receiving chemotherapy treatment for diffuse large B-cell non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. His battle with cancer and resulting low immune system will keep him out of the dojo and out of work for some time. Toby Fisher, Justin Barrett, Chris Jensen, that's Sensei Chris, by the way, Justin Sheehy, Keith Gard, and others are joining together to support their friend, mentor, and teacher, Sensei Jim True. He has shared his passion for martial arts with over 10,000 students, wow, ranging in age from 3 to 102 over the last 48 years. That's amazing. He embodies what he teaches: respect, passion, focus, patience, courage, humility, wisdom, sincerity, and self-confidence. Should you not already know how much Jim means to the Waltham community, which is a community just outside Boston, just ask one of his friends mentioned above. Sensei Jim has to put on his fighting gear and step into the ring again, this time to save his own life. The money raised will be used to help pay medical and living expenses. Whew. We appreciate the many who have reached out to help. This is a great way to give back to to a man who has given to so many. Your love and support show extreme compassion and empathy for Sensei Jim and his family. Sorry, that was tough. It's pretty emotional, so just reading that. But the goal is to raise $40,000. It's almost at the halfway point, just under, like 19.523. And I just wanted to come here. He's a great person, and he's done so much in his life, and will continue to do so much. He has to, like they said, go back in the ring, strap him on. But knowing Sensei Jim, he's probably going to beat this cancer. And he'll be back in the dojo leading kids for many years to come. But he just needs help along the way. And so anybody out there who's in the giving mood and wants to help out someone who's helped so many, please do so. Again, it's GoFundMe, Sensei Jim, and maybe share it with others. And like I said, listen to the episodes. It's fantastic. Chris, Sensei Jim, senseikreese, Sal and I's preview of each episode, because Sal was not in either one of those interviews. They actually came into a studio. I was still in the Boston area. There was a studio there if I had to record during the day, because our neighborhood could be so loud with mowers and blowers and kids. And they actually came in studio, and that's like the first in-person interview I had done pre-COVID, since Sal and I were in studio. So that was really cool to be kind of hanging out together, seeing them in the flesh. And oh yeah, I'd be remiss if I didn't share some photos from that day, which are also on our social media, but this is great. So this is Sensei Jim True and I right there in the Lex Media studio. Great. It's posted on our social media. And I know I didn't mention this, but Sensei Jim is so well known in the area that he has his own beer. Look at that right there. Japanese lager, Sensei Jim, the mighty Squirrel Brewery. Very good, I might add. And then, just because we've talked about him, here is Sensei Chris Jensen. Also came by. He was actually in the next Karate Kid. Sensei Jim was in a scene that was cut out. They were at the bowling alley, but he was in the pool room at the bowling alley, and Patmorita was going to come by, but that got cut out. But he did meet Patmorita playing pool, waiting for said scene. And then here's Chris with the shirts. Well, I guess it's front and back. It's one shirt. But he kept it from the production. And then the back of it, it's like, it does reference that the next Karate Kid. So how great is that? Such a great man. And probably should have put that photo up earlier, but I'm glad I didn't forget. And so really that's it. Short and sweet. Just a shout out, support Sensei Jim True. I hope to come back with a wonderful update at some point in time. But as always, no mercy.